Kogo News time is 5:40. So what exactly is swatting? Threats made against schools across the U.S. have led to the evacuation of students in this so-called swatting against schools. Well, joining us on the Kogo News Live line is Chris Copeland. He's the director of the Institute for Homeland Security, Cybercrime, and International Criminal Justice Studies at Tarleton State University in Fort Worth. And for anyone who doesn't understand swatting, can you thumbnail it?
It's basically playing a prank in such that a SWAT team, a Special Weapons and Tactics team of a police department, will come out and make your day not so nice.
So who is swatting schools, and how did they even get to this point?
Well, swatting started from people streaming their online video games, people watching other people play video games, and the prank started in that way. So who's swatting is kind of still up in the air. It's very easy to hide identities today in terms of applications and software that's available. So who's doing it is still kind of up in the air, mystery, but the numbers have increased relatively large over the years. The numbers have gotten much larger. But it's very hard to tell who's doing it because it's so easy to fake a phone number.
So, when let's say you've said that, so-and-so has shot his wife or, however it is that you're doing the swatting, a SWAT team shows up and obviously they're prepared for danger. I mean, has anybody died in a swatting?
Unfortunately, yes. And it's not always who you think it is. There have been a couple of instances where police officers who have been responding to a swatting situation have perished in auto accidents. There have been a couple of instances where fire and EMT have also had auto incidents on their way to respond to these things because these types of calls aren't a small issue. They call out paramedics, they call out fire. In case it is a bomb, in case they do need bomb disposal, they call out K9. So there's a lot of resources in play, and unfortunately, every one of them has their adrenaline pumping, and every one of them is now at risk. Not to mention just the people who are in the school or in the home or business that's being called on. So unfortunately, there have been a few deaths related to this.
Now, Chris, I mean, is there anything that you can do, considering how easy it is to hide your identity behind a proxy server, et cetera? I mean, is there any way to figure out how people are doing this and who they are?
So there's there's a couple of ways to go about doing it. Unfortunately, the ways that are able to detect robocalls and to drop them or to at least block them have not yet been implemented to police departments and 911 dispatchers. There's some software out there that can do this for cellular phones. It was an FCC challenge. One company, in fact, it's called No More or Nomo Robo is the name of the software. But that's a paid-for service for consumers, everyday people, to sign up to block cellular calls that are robotic in nature. And not all carriers handle it. So that kind of software, that kind of technology will need to be adapted to 911 and to police agencies, to law enforcement and first responders for that matter, before it really can be curtailed.
All right, Chris, we appreciate the time. He is the director of the Institute for Homeland Security, Cybercrime, and International Criminal Justice Studies at Tarleton State University in Fort Worth. Chris Copeland, I know that swatting kind of started as a way of people kind of trolling each other on the internet, and it's become a very dangerous practice, and trying to figure out who's doing it and why is, well, it's quite difficult. Kogo News time is 5:45, and the President honored a Coronado-based Navy SEAL during a Memorial Day speech at Arlington National Cemetery.
Charles Keating IV, Charlie, or Chuck, or C4, was born into a family of veterans, all-American athletes and Olympians, even a gold medalist. So naturally, Charlie and the love of his life, Brooke, celebrated their anniversary on the 4th of July. She called him the huge goofball everybody wanted to be friends with. The adventurer who surfed and spearfished and planned to sail around the world. When the Twin Towers fell, he was in high school and he decided to enlist. Joined the SEALs because he told his friends it was the hardest thing to do. He deployed to Afghanistan and 3 times to Iraq, earning a Bronze Star for valor. And earlier this month, while assisting local forces in Iraq who had come under attack, he gave his life. A few days later, one of his platoon mates sent Charlie's parents a letter from Iraq. "Please tell everyone Chuck saved a lot of lives today," it said. "He left us with that big signature smile on his handsome face as always. Chuck was full of aloha, but was also a ferocious warrior." So today we honor Chief Special Warfare Officer Charles Keating IV.
Keating is buried here in San Diego at Fort Rosecrans National Cemetery. There were ceremonies held yesterday morning there, as well as other locations around San Diego. Kogo News Time, 5:46. Do you get sad during the summer? It might be sad, and we'll explain that coming up at 6:11. Here are the stories trending in San Diego. A 13-year-old boy will be okay. He was hit by a car in San Marcos last night, a driver that took off after that crash. Sage Canyon Elementary in Carmel Valley reopens today. It closed after an apparent outbreak of norovirus. And it's 1 week to go for California's primary. If you're voting by mail-in ballot, that's how long you have to drop it in the mail. Coming up, we'll have your traffic, news about your money, and your weather. Kogo News Time, 5:47.
Turn to News Radio 600 Kogo for the latest.
We have to make sure our veterans get everything that they have earned, from good health care to a good job. And we have to do better. We have to be there not only when we need them, but when they need us.
News Radio 600 Kogo.
Hi, it's Cal Walker for the Hero program. I feel like we all have that one neighbor who really has it all together. The guy whose house is always immaculate, complete with the beautiful new windows, the solar panels on the roof. Well, maybe part of you wonders how in the world they were able to make that happen. Well, with summer coming, you can be the envy of your neighborhood by having that energy-efficient air conditioning in place so your home stays cool without costing an arm and a leg. Or be the one that has the beautiful artificial turf lawn who never has to worry about water rationing anymore. The special program can make all this possible. It's called the Hero program. You can use Hero for home upgrades that save on energy or water, and new roof, air conditioners, new windows, doors, solar panels, and a whole bunch more. You can do all this right now with no upfront costs, and all of the payments are made along with your property taxes, so interest on your payments may be tax deductible. And they'll even help you find a licensed verified contractor if you need one. So get started and make your home comfortable for the summer. The Hero program, 855-HERO-411, or visit theheroprogram.com.
Now, a year in rock spotlight. 1974.
In April, Diamond Dogs is the #1 album in the UK for David Bowie. It goes to #5 in